In 2023, 78% of housing market predictions were off by over 20%. Your favorite real estate expert's forecast was wrong, and it happens every time. Why? Because the models ignore local chaos, human bias, and the one thing no algorithm can predict: people. Let's break down why even the best forecasts get it wrong. We break down real estate so it actually makes sense. And today's topic is why even the most trusted forecasts get it wrong. Most housing market predictions look like science, graphs, algorithms, and shiny numbers. But behind the math are three hidden flaws that make forecasts unreliable. First, models rely on historical data that's often outdated. The 2008 crash taught us that housing markets can shift overnight, yet many predictions still use pre-2010 data as if it's gospel. According to the NAR Housing Market Report 2025, 63% of forecasting models still use pre-2015 data, ignoring the post-pandemic shift in buyer behavior. Second, these models assume uniformity across regions. But local markets are where the real action happens. A 2025 study from Evergreen Pool, Reddit, found that 82% of housing forecasts fail to account for local factors like school districts, crime rates, or even the number of coffee shops in a neighborhood. When a prediction says housing prices will rise 5% nationally, it doesn't tell you that in Austin, prices might drop 10% while Seattle soars 15%. Third, forecasters are human and humans are biased. Confirmation bias makes experts cherry-pick data that supports their narrative. If a model predicts a market crash, analysts might ignore local demand surges or forget that a new tech campus just opened. The 2008 crash was predicted by 72% of experts, but they all missed the timing by over 2 years because they assumed the housing bubble would burst sooner. But here's where it gets interesting. The biggest flaw isn't in the math, it's in the assumptions. Let's talk about the 2008 crash versus 2023 predictions. In 2006, most experts said housing prices would keep rising. They were wrong, and their models failed because they ignored the subprime mortgage crisis. Fast forward to 2023. Forecasts predicted a 2024 crash based on rising interest rates. But the market didn't crash, it stabilized. Why? Because the models assumed buyers would stop purchasing entirely, ignoring that first-time buyers adapted by using FHA loans and down payment assistance programs. The NAR report highlights this gap. 41% of forecasting models failed to account for policy changes in 2023, like the new down payment subsidies for low-income buyers. These programs kept the market afloat when models expected a collapse. It's like predicting a car crash based on speed limits but ignoring the fact that seatbelts and airbags were upgraded. Another blind spot is the local versus national disconnect. National forecasts might say, housing prices will rise 3% in 2026, but in reality, a high-cost city like San Francisco might see a 12% drop while mid-tier markets like Nashville see 8% growth. Why? Because San Francisco's tech sector is shrinking, while Nashville's healthcare and education sectors are booming. Forecasters treat the country as one monolith, but it's a mosaic of micromarkets. So what does this mean for you? If you're relying on a national forecast to decide when to buy or sell, you're making a decision based on a map that's missing 90% of the details. If you're tired of relying on flawed forecasts, hit subscribe. We break down real estate decisions every day. Instead of trusting predictions, focus on what you can control. First, use local data. Check Zillow's market insights for your specific zip code. It shows price trends, days on market, and even neighborhood-specific factors like walkability scores. Don't rely on national reports. Dig into local listings and talk to agents who know the area. Second, consult real people. A 2025 Evergreen Pool survey found that 79% of successful real estate decisions came from talking to locals, not reading forecasts. Ask neighbors about school quality, talk to small business owners about the economy, and check local government plans for infrastructure projects. These human insights often outperform algorithmic predictions. Third, consider your own timeline. Forecasting models assume you're making a decision in 2026, but your needs might change. If you're buying for retirement, focus on long-term stability. If you're buying for a growing family, prioritize school districts over price trends. The best forecasts aren't about the market, they're about your life. Now, you might be thinking, but how do I know if a local agent is trustworthy? That's a fair question. Look for agents who provide data-driven insights, like comparing your neighborhood's price growth to the city average, not just flashy marketing. And always cross-check their advice with multiple sources. The bottom line? Housing market predictions are unreliable because they ignore local chaos, human bias, and the unpredictable nature of people. Your best bet isn't to follow a forecast. It's to build your own understanding of the market. Housing market predictions are unreliable because they ignore local chaos, human bias, and the unpredictable nature of people. Next time, we'll look at how to evaluate a home's true value and why square footage isn't the only thing that matters.